children with complex needs got everyone to safety, while Camp Mystic had an advance warning at sunset the night before and ended up with dozens of children and teen counselors dead or missing. It shows us this wasn't just a natural disaster. This was a failure of leadership, planning, and accountability. It proves that the underage counselors should never have been left to carry that responsibility. Adults in charge failed them.
They didn't receive a notification at sunset the night before. So who said that? They didn't receive notification the night before.
There was notification on sunset.
They didn't. That's not
on July 3rd. There was.
Yeah. So Lisa read that there was notification at sunset. I think what is it, throughout the county or something like that, or whatever. But that camp, what proof do people have that camp received notification at 6 p.m. the night before?
We don't have any proof of that, but do you think? I'm just asking.
No, that's what Aurora was saying, though, Lisa. That's why I zeroed in on her comment, because what she said is different from what you said.
And what's really weird to me, though, you guys let's think about this. And this is not funny. I just have to release the stress off of my chest right now. Just knowing that these meteorologists are saying that they were warning, like gradually increasing this warning, starting from the day before. They knew the storm was coming. They knew it was going to be a lot of rain. My thing also is that if I'm at home and I know my kids are in flash flood alley, even if the camp's not getting it, maybe this happened. You guys think some of the parents might have tried to say, let me go up and get my kid because they're in some type of flash flood alley. I'm sitting here watching MSNBC or whatever the hell, the local news station. And you think they thought to themselves, maybe I should either call up there. It has to be a way to communicate with this camp. You guys are not going to make me believe that there is no way the parents could be having emergency. There could be a family emergency. And the way I'm getting some of you guys saying it's just no way to get in contact with these, that's impossible. You're not going to tell me you're running a camp where there's not consistent communication.
Lisa.
I don't believe it. You're not going to make me believe it. You're not going to do it. Not tonight. You might be do it in another room, but it's not going to happen right here because that don't make sense for you to be in charge of children and you don't have all kind of safety nets in place.
So here's a small little quote from a person, one of the Camp Mystic program directors. She said at 3:11 a.m., I was woken up to help evacuate campers from their cabins. A Camp Mystic program director recently posted on social media, by 4 a.m., I was on a roof with the water right up to me.
And these are some little kids. Now, I understand all that, right? But there was something that happened before that. There's just this, 3 a.m., they just realized that, shit was starting to go down. They knew this. I don't know if they ignored it. I don't know if they didn't want to lose their little funds or whatever they get, because I'm looking at a picture that's on New York Post that they posted, shows Camp Mystic campers just days before every girl was lost in Texas. These are little girls. I don't know what people are thinking. These are little girls. And the camp director, camp counselor Chloe, I don't know, rest in peace. I don't even know if this lady is still with them or whatever. She looks really, really young too. Wait, she's not missing. Okay, what is missing? Okay, they got missing next to the people who are actually missing. But the camp counselor, Catherine Ferenzo, she also looks very, very young. She looked like she could be 15, 16 years old. I could be wrong.
Well, Lisa, there was a lady that was on CBS News with her daughter, and then like 11, 12 years old. And the lady lives I guess they live up in Virginia somewhere. The mom's from Texas. And she said her daughter's been attending there for the past 4 years since she was like 7 or 8. So yeah, it's a lot of little kids there, and I just can't understand why the fuck nobody was awake. And even midnight, seeing the storm going freaking crazy, it wasn't going, hey, do you think we should move these kids out of here? but it just sounds like everybody went in and went to bed and fell asleep and woke up 3 a.m. and was, oh shit, the water's up to our waist. Like, I just.
And that's also against
How do you expect to go anywhere when the water gets to that level? You know, like when it was known that the water was on its way. But then here's another thing, right? They said that it's a dangerous mix of communication failures. We identified those. Late warnings, we know about those, and then overconfidence in existing protocols.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that sounds just about right.
Yeah, they figured, oh, it's just another storm. It's not that big a deal. And then they woke up and water's up to their waist, and then they started panicking.
Lisa, I want to tell you, I'm looking on their website, and all I can see is like where you would apply for a position, and it says that, wait a minute, other staff positions at this camp: camp nurse, nurse assistant, bookkeeper, secretary, kitchen worker, dining hall workers, camp store manager, ground workers, horse wrangler, and babysitter. Where was all these people at?
Hey, we're all sleeping, it sounds like.
And Nate, you have to be at least graduated from high school for these counselor positions.
So this, oh, go
A
ahead.
2-day orientation is what you get before each term begins. I don't know what's in that. I'm trying to figure it out looking at their website. But their website's kind of shitty. Anyway, that's all the people is generally concerned. And I would imagine some of them were at home, a lot of them, but
The article that Aurora was quoting from is an article created for Texas officials to deflect and essentially blame the victims. One of the paragraphs in here says Dalton Rice, the city manager of Kerrville, said Monday that authorities were reluctant to cry wolf and order evacuations, adding that rainfall significantly exceeded the projected amounts. He said officials had little time to react in the middle of the night, adding that qualified first responders were being swept away driving through the initial rainfall. This rose very quickly in a very short amount of time. So once again, this falls on the government officials.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah, I think, you guys, because we are reading about this camp. We are trying to get as much information so we won't be just in here saying harmful things. But to me, lack of whatever guidelines that were put in place, number one. Number two, if it's raining that hard, in these little camps, they don't have the best buildings. You can hear the rain probably knocking the roof off. I just would have woke the kids up and maybe we could have just moved to higher ground or some shit. Or maybe they didn't feel like it. There should always be somebody awake. What if there was a fire that just started in this campground and all asleep? All asleep? There has to be somebody awake with these children or taking turns or something. Everybody just can't be out cold. There could be somebody who wanders in and then, God forbid, it cause harm. What's the security system like then there, you guys?
Lisa, I've never been a camp ranger in one of these food places. I've never even been to camp, but I've always known that kids get up to crazy shit, at nighttime too. Wasn't there people that observing, making sure the girls weren't sneaking out doing something or whatever, yeah, or any of that kind of stuff, or having parties, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, whatever. These are little kids. I mean, you gotta watch them, especially 7 to 18 or 7 to 17, whatever it is. You would at least think that there would be at least a quarter of these camp people would have been awake, at least just monitoring the kids. But like I said, it just sounded like everybody was asleep.
No, most camps, any camp that I've seen has a whole walkie-talkie system. So the counselors or a group leader within that cabin, there's at least one per cabin, and that is mandated so that people can get emergency, or put emergency protocols in place in case of a fire, or flood, lightning, whatever it is. And those are the systems. That's the basic.
Actually, I do take that back. I did go to Cub Scouts, so I guess Cub Scouts kind of counts as camp. Like
My
those
son
type.
had to go to a sixth grade camp. It's mandatory that these kids have to go to a sixth grade camp. And the adults who went were parents and school staff, and they had to stay up all fucking night because you are responsible for 60 or 70 sixth graders in different cabins. Yeah, you had a cabin as a parent or a staff member. So what the hell?
We did
I
that
don't
too.
understand.
At Cub Scouts, two students could stay up like 2-3 hours with the leaders, but they were up, there was always an adult that was always awake. Another thing, those cabins at Camp Mystic, they were built back in 1926 to 1930s, and from there on, they tried to maintain that aesthetic of the earlier cabins, right? They were not made flood resistant, resilient.
Well, I was gonna ask, like,
I was a
I can
Brownie
believe it.
Girl Scout and a Rainbow Girl.
I was just gonna ask, aren't most of these camps like hemorrhaging money, and a lot of them are like on the verge of like collapse? I mean, maybe that played a part in why they weren't so prepared. I mean, because you just look on Zillow and look up maximum square footage, and there's just camps all over the country that are closed for sale.
This
So
camp
I mean,
had 6 to 8 terms a summer. I don't know how long their term was. It couldn't have been very long, but that's what their website said.
yeah, I always thought that like camps nowadays are kind of like a thing of the past, almost like malls and stuff.
It depends on the region. Up in like New England, New York, I mean, it is just like the thing to send your kids to overnight camp. Like they're incredibly popular, but there are a lot of older ones that don't have like the amenities and the updated infrastructures that are closing, and people are consolidating to, better camps.
Yeah.
Christian camps are super popular.
Well, this was going to be sued.
It's like VBS, Vacation Bible School, but that's not like a camp, but you can go to the church all day.
Yeah, Vacation Bible School at the actual church. But this camp is going to be sued, and I know they have insurance. They have insurance. What kind of insurance? I don't know. So as just of, what time is it now? 12:13 in Manhattan, and I guess 9:13 on the West Coast. They're saying as of now, 24 minutes ago, the New York Times, Texas flood live updates, death toll tops 100, and they're still searching for victims. So, does anybody have another number? Because it looks like we can go past 100 easy. Because it says it's topping 100 now. This makes no sense. 100 people dead over some preventable shit. Not the weather, not the nature, not nature's events, but planning, communication, notification, whatever. Somebody tell me what that's called. Is that called Flood Alley? I've been trying to look up.
Flash Flood Alley is called. But this whole thing about the cabin structure is really interesting when it comes to suit possibilities, because the cabin sat below the historical 100-year flood line, and few have flood mitigation features like raised foundations, sealed flooring, or waterproof exits.
Yeah, and I can attest, just living in Texas, I mean, it is a state that you are on your P's and Q's when you're out in nature, because, I mean, we do have a lot of fucking crazy shit here. I mean, we got baseball-size hail, basketball-size hail in some rural parts of Texas. I mean, it can get wild real quick.
Yeah, that's even more reason. The more you guys are talking,
I love
the more
Texas,
I know that I know some, that it's really horrible, that this could have been not prevented, but it maybe wouldn't have looked like it does today, and we're quarterbacking, yes, but we're also going through all the articles, looking at what people are saying, reading what experts are saying. But in other news, you guys, we can still keep talking about this, but the Justice Department finds no Jeffrey Epstein client list. That's one
That's another
news
lie.
article from today, right? More lies. And then Trump and Musk are now their feud is escalating because Musk decided he was going to. You guys said he created a new political party today. That's what I heard earlier, and then he says Trump is saying he's sending more weapons to Ukraine, and then the thing that happened in L.A. in the park. Those are some of the other top headlines that are going on right now, and that's just some. It's a lot of shit going on.
Of the late massacres. It is written by Benjamin Franklin, and there were other stories, but his point of his story was saying that you're calling these people Muslims heathens because they are not Christians, but actually you're the heathen because you are killing prisoners of war. And then he said the Muslims actually are the ones that established that you shouldn't kill prisoners of war. And he had that story that I had said was the last story he had, but he actually, Benjamin Franklin quoted the Sirah, like a hadith, at a time, the first story he told in there were four, at a time when there was no like translation of
all time high.
And we don't want just regular arrests. We want to see big names. We want to see like a Hillary Clinton or something like that. Okay, I'm not talking about somebody that I've never heard of.
Olive, I DM'd you three rings that
Hey,
have
Olive, I want to say something.
Wisconsin. I want to say something to her really quick too. The only thing that makes me, I've known about the children for a long time. I check every day, right, to see what sex traffickers have been arrested in the entire country. That is the only thing that gives me hope. So I understand that since no one is talking about it on X, you don't see any hope. But I just sent you specifically for Wisconsin. Read it and just keep paying attention to your state. Because yes, you want Hillary Clinton, but it's the people on the ground that are actually trafficking humans.
Local. The sheriffs and all that stuff, some of the local sheriffs.
A sheriff got arrested in Wisconsin. I just sent him a link.
Turtle, why don't you mention the CPS thing with the judges? Can you mention that real quick, Turtle, if you don't mind, please? Tell everybody, reiterate what the CPS got going on with the judges' pension.
Well, yeah, the pension fund that's set up between the city managers and the, lower court judges is their pension funds are funded by CPS profits. So that's why historically they don't do anything to mess up or mess with CPS, because it affects their retirement, and it's giant money. It's unbelievable money what goes back and forth behind the scenes.
So
thank you for that.
In Wisconsin, you have Operation Restore Justice.
If you could real quick, let Carmen go real quick because she wanted to talk to Olive real quick. So and then we got other hands up, and then we got to read the document. So we got Carmen.
Yeah, I've got the document read. I know Olive wanted to hear that. You know, Olive, I don't know you that great, but I do have respect for you. And I'm going to say this. I truly believe that you really want the children protected. I do believe that. And I feel like, we go to the wrong places to get our information. And we listen instead of research, right? And so I ask you, I really just beg you, actually, please, because you could be a really big voice. You got a really soft voice, so a lot of people would take to that. And for the children, right? They don't have a voice. They have it's very small, right? So we have to be their voice. And I ask you to please go to a couple websites that I'll DM you, and I'll even go to even the local areas in my hometown and send you some information how they're busting them. These rings are in your neighborhood, okay? In your neighborhood. Trust me. So I want you to see this, and then ask yourself when you're going to any other space, and they're starting to down it. Remember what you just witnessed and seen. You just seen what I'm sending you, and it's not my information. You go do the research, and then you bring it back, and you say, "Well, y'all can't say that he hasn't done anything," because I can count 797 people that have been taken off the streets and over 1,000 children that have been saved, right? Protected. I mean, there they are. So I want you to really do that, please. I think you got a good spirit, and you'd be great for the community. We need people like you. So I'll read that really quick.
I'll vouch for Olive. I've been around.
I know, I've known Olive forever.
Yeah, right.
But
I don't know why I'm not following you and you're not following me.
Oh my God, please, with the follow.
I'm all about the bees.
Hey guys, can I mention something about Wisconsin?
Oh, go right here. All right, here, go ahead. And then we got to go read that after Rubber does his favor.
So just because Wisconsin plays will play a very big part of this. It has in the past. It was dealt with between 2017 and mid 2019. But Racine, Wisconsin, it's part of the trafficking lines called the Orion Network. And one of them was in Killeen, Texas. There's a bunch of them. And these are all deep underground, old, dilapidated, underground military bases. Some still active, some not still active. Some of them are underground, CIA operations where they do all the MK Ultra bullshit. That's where they create all the mass shooters and all that shit. Like Jason Bourne type of people. Well, Racine, in Racine, Wisconsin, and this was done under Paul Walker and Paul Ryan. And as you guys remember, Paul Ryan was big anti-Trump, big time cabal. And he basically, even though, we had the White House, we had the Congress, we had the Senate during Trump's first term. If you all remember, it was Paul Ryan who was, the Pelosi of that time, keeping Trump from doing all of that. And he put a very bright light on himself. So they had to take him away from the Senate, from government, and they put him as the board of directors for Fox News, which is where he stays to this day, if I'm not mistaken. So Racine, you don't need to do much more than surface research on the child trafficking or Orion lines in order to find a lot of stuff up there in Racine, because it goes Wisconsin, it goes all the way down through Milwaukee, goes into Indiana, and it's just, Mike Pence was involved with this, and it has a lot to do with Indiana. It has a lot to do with Wisconsin around that bend there. So there's a lot to research. So, and I found it pretty quickly.
Yeah, Wisconsin, I totally
Let me show y'all something real quick. I want to show y'all something. Now, I'm going to put this Trump post that I post. All I said was, because Trump made a statement on Truth Social. He said the FBI, under the direction of Director Cash Patel and Deputy Dan Bongino, is back to the basics, locking up criminals and cleaning up American streets. We all have the greatest law enforcement professionals in the world, but politics and corrupt leadership often prevented them from doing their job. That is no longer the case, and now they have been unleashed to do their jobs, and they are doing just that. Keep up. Keep it up. Make America great again. Now, look at this post real quick, you guys. No comment. Look, all I did, look at this. Look, I just want to show y'all something. All I did was say, Will said POTUS, list, LLG, right? Go in the comment section. Look at the comments. All I said, bro, look at it. I'm not lying. All I said was, Will said POTUS. Why are they making these personal attacks? Look at it. Go look. I have like this thing got what 12,000 views. I have so many people in that comment section that is personally attacking me just because I reposted something Trump did. You know what I mean? And this is what the left used to do. You see what I'm saying? The left used to put on these attacks. Go look at all your fake. Go look. I ain't said a word. I didn't like it. I didn't respond back. I didn't say anything. I was just kind of like, you guys are freaking obsessed, bro. Like, you guys are really obsessed with Trump. They have Trump derangement syndrome. Like, this is crazy. Not all of them. They got some of our people that commented in there, but you guys, all I said was well said, POTUS. And we're showing you guys right now in this with the FBI what they had, why I said well done, because the FBI under the direction of Cash Patel and Deputy Dan Bongino are back to the basics, locking criminals up. Bro, we just showed you guys, and that's just a little bit, that's actually true. So why are these people,
Because trafficking is actually on this app, and when we talk about it, or when we actually rescuing people, bots get activated. And that's the plain truth, and that's the most disgusting truth. And we've been dealing with this before Elon even purchased it, Twitter. So not everybody wants to see children rescued because they are literally involved in the trafficking. Not everyone wants to have fentanyl be seized because they're making a lot of money off selling it.
no, I'm just real quick, Scorp. So again, and then we just lost quite a few speakers. But you guys go look at this. This is cool, man. I just looked at this just now. Look at Ian Malcolm 84. It's the Jews, Mister. It's the Jews, bro. He's clearly a clown. Why? Just because I support Trump and we're telling the truth. I'm literally posting stuff that's true. Why am I a clown? What are you talking about? Look down the list. Just keep going. And it goes on and on and on. And I didn't even realize that.
Oh, wait, Patriot. One says you're paid off. That's hilarious.
But I want y'all to look at the people on this list. What did I say to them so bad? When we tell y'all, when me and Alpha tell y'all that people just hate Trump because Trump is doing the right thing for America, this is what I'm talking about. I didn't say nothing derogatory or nothing to these people, and they're in my comment looking like my ex-girlfriend from high school. Ian Malcolm, what are you doing in my comments? Why are you? What are you doing? I'm a smaller account.
In anonymous?
No. He's. What I'm saying is, what is he doing in my comment section, taking a poll about me being crazy and stuff? But I'm telling the truth though. And look at the poll. It says 97% people say that he's crazy, and these people can't possibly know me because they never been in there before. They never listened, right? So this is my example right here, and I don't have to say nothing to these guys. I could just post, and they're gonna come to my post, and they're gonna show that they actually hate America. Because what did I say wrong? Did I lie? Give me an emoji if I didn't lie in that post. If Trump didn't lie in that post, give me an emoji. Let's see how many people got that, right? Thank you, you guys, the listeners, everybody, right? Did Trump lie in that post? No, he didn't. You guys got Trump derangement syndrome, and I'm gonna keep flexing Trump in front of y'all face because y'all are the radical left. We know for a fact that you're the radical left now. Look, you can't lie now. They didn't think I could get a big room and expose it. Keep coming in my comment section so I could show you all and show the people how I didn't say. What did I say, you guys? I didn't call nobody mom or B. I didn't curse nobody out. I just said, well said, POTUS. They hate Trump.
Make America safe again is what POTUS wrote.
And they're actually doing it. They don't want club. They don't want open borders. They look like they want open borders, Alan.
4% to 6%. They just want to see it burn. You know, that they're not coming back. Not one.
They just come like, wow, these comments are, man, I see what Trump went through. God.
Definitely not these nutbags in your comments. I'm reading this now. Isn't that guy Canadian?
I am a different country. That's
these
the thing.
have to be bots. They have to be bots, Patriot. I can't believe these people are real. This is stupid.
People turning information into personal attacks, and you know, I'm just sitting here like, what? Like, when did we get here? Like, wait a minute, I thought we was talking about information because Axios is still not a reliable source, and it's still, all of this is a psyop. All the whole
Read
thing.
the memo, it's important.
Don't cut me off.
Sorry, I get impatient sometimes, you know.
You done cut everybody off in this doggone space to where speakers done left and stuff. And here I go trying to show people and expose blasphemy in my comment section. And I just want y'all to see, man, screenshot what they're saying right now, because I look at what I posted, and I got another post where I'm just going to start posting stuff about Trump right now and see how many people I drive crazy. Anyway.
Hey, Patriot, has anyone come out yet about that memo? Like any of the government, like bonding or cash?
They're quiet.
So that's a fake document. We proved that last night. That broke during your space. So why are we gonna read it now? If it's fake?
I was gonna say something.
Real quick, it's on us.gov. So it's there. They did it, bro. And I didn't mean to mute all y'all, but they can't hear me over the mics. But go ahead, y'all. Read that memo. Rubber Duck, you go ahead. And then Corman, you go ahead. And Scorpio, you gotta let other people.
No, if it's legit, I'm good.
They posted it on justice.gov, Rubber Duck, the official.
All right, let Corman read that real quick.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Rubber Duck, I was the same way. I still say this about the document. Posted or not, it is not properly, it isn't properly cleaned up the way it should be. It doesn't address anyone in particular, and there's no signature on it. So, that's my concerns, but yeah, I'm going to read it really quick.
And it's a memo, FYI.
It is a memo. Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's .gov, I could bring in 10 .gov documents right now that would knock everyone's fucking socks off. So remember, everything in jest.
Scorpio.
Scorpio, chill the fuck out. I'm just saying, take everything with a grain of salt.
Okay, let me see.
I agree.
All right, I'm gonna find Scorpio's thing, and then here we go, right here. It says, as a part of our commitment to transparency, the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigations have conducted an exhaustive review of investigative holdings relating to Jeffrey Epstein. To ensure that the review was thorough, the FBI conducted digital searches of its, sorry, I'm having to go back and forth, of its database, hard drives, and network drives, as well as physical searches of squad areas, locked databases, hard drives, locked cabinets, desks, closets, and other areas where responsive material may have been stored. These searches uncovered a significant amount of material, including more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence. The files relating to Epstein include a large volume of images of Epstein, images and videos of victims who are either minors or appear to be minors, and over 10,000 downloaded videos and images of illegal child sex abuse material and other pornography. Teams of agents. Okay, go ahead.
Pause. Ooh, that is the most important part of that document, you guys. They're concurring that, forget the list, there's some very damaging things on there, right? Why are people not talking about that part of that's kind of scary, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. Why did people miss the most important part of that document? Once it got confirmed by us.gov, which again, take everything with a grain of salt, I'm with Rubber Duck, because that document looked hella sketchy last night, still does now. And the fact that the green badges ain't said that, that's even more so suspect. But anyway, why didn't anybody say anything about the most important part of those docs? What Corman just read. Why you got grown people on here saying that they advocate for trafficking, but they didn't talk about that specifically in the doc? They spent all day trying to deem the Trump administration and Q the bad guys. and didn't actually talk about that's what me and Scorpio was talking about back channel. I'm like, wow, when Scorpio read it, I was like, bruh, like, okay, now that it's been confirmed, like, why aren't they reading the document? And Scorpio, right, Corman and everybody in here, they need to read the document. If y'all really care about the kids for real, read the doggone document. Understand that they're indirectly telling you guys in the document there are ongoing cases. Ongoing cases. Understand that. Go ahead, Corman. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let me see here. Teams, teams of agents. Just making sure I'm picking up what I was skipping nothing. And other pornography. Teams of agents, analysts, attorneys, and privacy and civil liberties experts comb through the digital and documentary evidence with the aim of providing as much information as possible to the public while simultaneously protecting victims. Much of the material is subject to court-ordered scaling. Only a fraction of this material would have been aired publicly had Epstein gone to trial, as the seal served only to protect victims and did not expose any additional third parties to allegations of illegal wrongdoing. Through this review, we found no basis to revisit the disclosure of those materials and will not permit the release of child pornography. Thank you. The systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. There was also no, and I'm going to say client list in parentheses. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could...
Can you pause on that right there? Which means he did not blackmail people to do these crimes, but that doesn't mean they didn't commit these crimes on their own. And that's important.
Okay, you ready? You're right. Okay, let me find where I was at. Okay, blackmail prominent individual. We did not uncover evidence that could predict shit, I can't even talk now. An investigation against uncharged third parties. Consistent with prior disclosures, this review confirmed that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims. Say it again, 1,000 victims. Each suffered unique trauma. Sensitive information relating to these victims is intertwined throughout the materials. This includes specific details such as victim names and likeness, physical descriptions, places of birth, associates, and employment history. One of our highest priorities is combating child exploitation and bringing justice to victims. Perpetrating unfounded theories about Epstein serves neither of those ends. To that end, while we have labored to provide the public with maximum information regarding Epstein and ensured examination of any evidence in the government's possession, there you go, in the government's possession, it is the determination of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation that no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. After a thorough investigation, FBI investigators concluded that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City on August 10th, 2019. This conclusion is consistent with previous findings, including the August 19, 2019 autopsy, findings of the New York City Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, the November 2019 position of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York in connection with the investigation of federal correctional officers responsible for guarding Epstein, and the June 2023 conclusions of the DOJ's Office of the Inspector General. The conclusion that Epstein died by suicide is further supported by video footage from the common area of the Special Housing Unit, SHU, where Epstein was housed at the time of his death. As DOJ's Inspector General explained in 2023, anyone entering or attempting to enter the tier where Epstein's cell was located from the SHU common area would have been captured by this footage. The FBI's independent review of this footage confirmed that that from the time Epstein was locked in his cell at around 10:40 p.m. on August 9th, 2019, until around 6:30 a.m. the next morning, nobody entered any of the tiers in the SHU. During this review, the FBI enhanced the relevant footage by increasing its contrast, balancing the color, and improving its sharpness for greater clarity and viewability. The full, raw, and enhanced videos are available at the following links, and it lists the links. That's it.
So, in summary, by Trump reopening this investigation on Epstein, they discovered 300 gigabytes of evidence. And in my opinion, I believe that is helping them catch these other people that are trafficking children that are still operating. So yes, it is very sad that Epstein killed himself, but he is dead. And it's more important that we have this evidence so we can save children now.
Oh, the evidence live on.
I don't think he's dead.
Let's go to Randy real quick. Go ahead, Randy.
Hey, Patriot, thanks for having me on, bro. Hey, real quick, I just want to say that the way I see this whole thing is that Trump, first of all, I trust Trump. He's come through with just about every promise that he's made up to now. And when he first got elected and he first selected his cabinet, they were all excited about this whole thing and they were all gung-ho about it. And the way I see it is they got the information and they realized that this was a much, much bigger and deeper situation and issue than what they even ever imagined. And right now, I think they're probably just trying to everybody that's since they got elected and they went all gung-ho are probably in hiding and they're probably trying to draw people out. That's the way I see it. I mean, there's no way to distrust them at this point. I mean, there's got to be things that we don't know and they're never going to tell us because I think this thing goes way further than anybody is even imagining at this point. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks, Patriot.
No, go ahead. Corey.
Sorry, Patriot. You know, I totally agree with that statement. But you know what I think is, I think they did go, woo, that's deep, right? But I don't think at all that they have said that, like throwing hands up, like, whoa, we're not even. I think that they're going at it the best possible way they can, and actually know how. And it's deep. I do truly believe that. I mean, it goes back 8,000 years. I got some research and I'm going to throw up, but like, you know, it gets really deep and there's a lot of turns and twists in this with child trafficking. The sad part is America is the #1 child trafficking nation in the world.
100%. And again, you guys, we're not getting all the details because they got, I keep having to reiterate, they got ongoing cases. Go ahead and read. I can't hear him read.
Me neither. She won't.
LB, you there?
Looks like the mic is, but I don't hear. Can you hear me?
God dog it, I can hear you. All right, let's try to get her back. Well, we'll have to drop somebody and bring her back up and then pull them back up and see if she can get the calls again. Let's go to Zach here. Let's go to Zach real quick.
Yes. Plus, we need to go state to state on, these child predators off the
Can you
streets,
hear me? Oh.
pretty much. And go state to state, get the illegal migrants off the streets, get them gone out of the United States, period, end. And on that deal, and make sure everything we do here on out is up and up. And pray for Texas, pray for people in the storm victims and stuff like that. Let's get to work. I'll let my plane there.
Thanks, Zach, and thanks, Randy,
You're welcome.
for speaking earlier.
Yeah, we gotta be back up. Remember you was trying to talk?
My mic kept opening up. I have a different perspective, but I'll wait to share my thoughts.
Hey, Patriot, I think I'm gonna tap out. And all these listeners, go ahead and share out the room. Get some more people in here. Get everybody arguing after I leave. I'm just playing. We're still relaxing, chilling.
Not today, Turtle, not today.
We're waiting for others to speak, and we're doing all that really nice stuff.
All right, go ahead, MD. You got it. Go ahead.
Okay, so stay ready, man.
No, if you don't want to go right now, you don't have to. I know you want enough to know you okay, it's cool. Let me go to May, and then I'm gonna go to Adam, and then when MD is ready to talk, well, you got the green light, sis. All right, go ahead, May. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Patriot. Thank you. Tomorrow I get to pick up my daddy's ashes, and I get to start the process of being his representative legally. So just another big, long day, long week tomorrow. But I did want to tell you, I want you to pay attention. What congressmen are actually talking about this? Senators, congressmen, the representatives of your states. Who's talking about this? I'd really like to see how many of them have come out. I don't care about the influencers. How many of them are silent? How many of them have not said one flippin' word? Pay close attention to all of your representatives of your state to see Democrats and Republicans alike and independents who is actually saying something. Patriot, that's going to be a big deal. You know why? Because what happens now, case closed on Epstein. Okay. What happens is whatever they found that's new, that was not part of any court, can now be used for evidence against a lot of these people. You guys have to realize that the reason J6ers didn't get off like they needed to is because their evidence was taken away from them to use in the courts. President Trump is literally quiet. Pam Bondi is quiet. Dan Bongino is quiet. Kash Patel is quiet. His whole administration is quiet. When people go quiet, it means they're strategically planning on something bigger. I want you to truly think. My spirit has been going through this all day. And Patriot, I sent you and Alpha some people that I want you to look at of things that they said today. It's not that I wanted you to think that I was following them. No, I unfollowed them. I want you to pay attention to what they said, and I will remember those words forever. You guys need to pay attention to who is against everything that President Trump is trying to do for your country. Thank you.
Oh, man, that was checkmate. She said that now that the Epstein case is closed, they could bring up they could get discovery, bring up new charges. Man, ooh, I got chills when she said that. No, did they mention that in the other spaces, you guys?
Scorpio was saying earlier, I was agreeing with her.
Yeah, an excellent point right there, but did they say that in those other spaces is what I'm trying to figure out. Did they calculate?
Not at all, Patriot. I listened in the tunnels, not at all.
No way, no way. They were dogging, man, I mean, you would believe some of the people, they were dogging Trump left and right.
Yeah, man, would you say that this was more so like, it's not like I'm disappointed that Trump don't want to save the kids. Would you say this is more so a hit job again on the Trump administration and it's massively huge from what we've seen?
100% pay attention to every single person that used to say, this is my president no matter what, and has gone back on their words. Pay very, very close attention to every single person. And if you